Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Let's go to the office today. I should have probably put on a jacket. I wasn't paying attention, but it's 45 degrees. This shirt is not that warm, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. So, I forgot to tell y'all that Miss Tommy came down and helped me cut some mats out of Pumpkin's hair around her neck. And it left a pretty good bald spot on the side of her neck because they were down close to her neck. So, in a little bit, I have this frantic knocking at my door. This was on Sunday. And it's Phoenix, of course. Miss Tracy, there's something wrong with Pumpkin. I said, what's wrong? I said, she's just all tore up. I said, no, baby, we cut her hair. We cut a big chunk of her hair off. I said, it'll grow back, but she had some mats. And she goes, no, it's her arms and her legs. They're just all tore up. And I'm like, I just saw her, right? I was like, okay. She had brought her to the door, and when I opened the door, she took off running. So I was like, I'll check on her later. So she turns around and leaves, and I walked outside about 5 minutes later. I went out the front door, and there she was, just laying in my flower bed, just rolling around, enjoying life. Not a thing wrong with her. I checked her legs, I checked her tail. The only spot she has is right there on her neck. I was like, Phoenix, when she came back over, I said, Phoenix, there's nothing wrong with Pumpkin. That's on her neck is where we cut the mats out. She's got mats. And her legs are fine and her tail's fine. She said, they're not all tore up. I said, no, they don't have a scratch. They're not missing a hair, nothing. They're fine. Oh. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? But anyway, Tommy is helping me figure out what to do with Pumpkin. Like I said, the problem is she was there Sunday. I put food out. I went out and petted her. We cut her hair. Left her a nice big bald spot to make her look beautiful. And then she disappears. I didn't see her at all yesterday. I was in my office yesterday. And I can see the porch, right? I kept going to the front door last night. No Pumpkin. So I come out this morning. She's on the porch eating what I put out last night. And she came down and sat on the steps so pretty and poised, looking at me like, hello. Girl, you're killing me, Smalls. Because when she disappears, it scares me, you know? But she can't belong to anybody because she has worms and she has all those mats. So I don't know where she's going, but she must have a good hiding spot. That's all I can say, which I'm thankful for. But anyway, I'll be back, okay? Okay. Hi, I'm back. Also on Sunday, Joan called me and she said, I just finished making a strawberry pie like Shoney's had. Would you like a slice? Would I? Yeah. I mean, even though it's got some glutens in the pie crust was super thin. It was so good, and it didn't have a topper, so it wasn't very much gluten, wheat, you know. But that strawberry pie, oh, it had that yummy strawberry jelly stuff. What I don't know what you call it, but it was syrupy. I don't know. It was that thick stuff. She said, "You want whipped cream on top?" I said, "No." Now that's dairy's one thing I cannot fudge on. I can fudge a little bit on the wheat. I cannot fudge on dairy, okay? Wished I had my own whipped cream, though. I actually looked at whipped cream, dairy-free, at the store the other day. and started to buy it. And I thought, you don't need that. I think it was God telling me that I needed to buy the whipped cream for the strawberry pie. But it didn't need it because it was delicious. She said, well, that's the first time I've ever made it. Anyway, Shoney's recipe. But we met at the fence for her to hand me the pie. And I was wearing my bright pink t-shirt. And she's looking at me and she said, what's wrong with your face? That's not a good way to start a conversation, Miss Joan. I said, I don't know. What is wrong with my face? She said, oh, your shirt's reflecting on your face. She said, I thought your whole face was just pink from something, but it's just the reflection of your shirt. And I was like, well, thanks for scaring the crap out of me. Because, you know, when somebody says, what's wrong with your face? It's like, I don't know. This is just what I look like. You know, you've seen me before. Anyway, I'll be back. Hi. Before I go get lunch, I want to read you this. So Lisa and I are sitting working, and I turn on some music, and it's Welcome to the Hotel California. So it starts out with, on a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm, what? What do they say? We don't know. So I looked it up, okay? Does anybody know? Because I said all kinds of stuff. Warm smell coming rising up through the air. It says warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. Then there she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. Then she lit up a candle and she showed me the way. Would you like to know what a colitas is? Because I looked that up too. A butt. Warm smell of butt. Yep, that's what it says. Warm smell of butt rising up through the air. Now you know. We didn't need to know, but now we know. Also, I sneezed so loud this morning that Lisa jumped. She said a curse word, and then she said that was so loud it stunted my growth. She said it stunted her growth. I couldn't stop laughing. How does a sneeze stunt your growth? It should have stunted my growth because it came from my soul. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to get work. Also called lunch. So now y'all know the song to, or the words to Hotel California. You're welcome. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, or was it warm wind in my hair? Warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Who knew? Who knew all that time we were singing about butts? I have never been so, I don't know, put out. But you know, all these years, I didn't know what they were saying. Warm smell of collegiate. Warm smell of warm smell of, yeah, that's, I don't know. But anyway, that was just disturbing. Why did I have to look it up? I don't know, but I've gotten to the point in my life that, well, I mean, you know, it's easy because you're listening to a song and you've never really known what it said, and then you're like, oh, let me just Google it. Sometimes you don't need to know, okay? Well, thanks, Gracie. They didn't need to see your starfish. Anyway, we're home, and I had to leave a little bit early and go get my dad from the car shop because he had to take his car in because his passenger door would not lock. So for some reason, they wanted it dropped off today, and they're going to put it in tomorrow. And of course, my 90-year-old father is a busy man and needs my car tonight to go to Lodge. And then he needs it in the morning to go to his retirement breakfast. And then he said, let me know if you need your car tomorrow. And then we'll go get it tomorrow afternoon. Thankfully, it'll be done tomorrow. It's not like the transmission that they kept it a week and then had to order the part, and then we had to take it back over there for them to keep another week. I was like, what? When he first told me, I thought he said, I'll get it back Friday. And I was like, why? Does it take a week? And he was like, no, I get it back the next day. And I was like, oh. Okay, I think I was having flashbacks. I think I was having a little PTSD from the last 2 times that they kept it for so long. But actually, that was the transmission shop, and this is another one who works on the type of car he has. So he drives my sister's old Lexus, a very old Lexus. And he won't let them pay for any of the services on it because he says, I'm driving their car, the least I can do is pay for it. You know how that silent generation is. They want to pay for everything. So he says to me, don't tell your sister. And I'm like, I'm not saying a word. Hey, I'm the baby, you know? If you want me to be quiet, I'll be quiet. I won't say a word. However, if she asks me, I can't lie. So if she asks me, I'm going to be like, yep, he had to pay this much money to have something in the door replaced, and then she'll know. I'm not going to lie for you, but I'm not just going to volunteer it either, okay? I know, right? But anyway, we're home. It's a glorious day. It's very sunny and warm, and Gracie's getting all the loves. And Penny loves to get a treat, and then she wants me to fight her for it. Just ignore my jacket over there, okay? I apparently never put anything up. That's what my mother told me a long time ago. And I didn't believe her, but apparently, now that, you know, we're out on our own and living it up, apparently she was correct. I know, right? I do put some stuff up, but it takes me a minute sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I think we all have our quirks like that, don't we? At least I hope so. Anyway, I hope y'all have had a great day. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. I hope he's coming back soon because these people be crazy. Ain't that right, Gracie? Say, these people be crazy. And we'll talk to you on the next one, okay? Toodles!